All right, welcome everyone. I do wish I could see your smiling faces. I am Andrea from Apple Yarns. I also wear the hat Apple Fiber Studio. So, what I wanted to talk about today was business to business subscriptions and why they are so important for your maker store. I was kind of curious if maybe you could let me know in chat. Do you have a subscription box presently? That you send out? Are you wanting to do it? Where are you in the subscription process? For me, for our store, we actually have 4 subscriptions and we belong to 3 business to business subscriptions. So I'll just wait another minute or two, see if we can get. I see Leslie, Felicia, and Patty are with us. And if not, you're just going to hear me talk. I'm usually more of an interaction kind of person, but I'm happy to share. All right. There we go. I do not have one. Felicia, thank you so much for asking. Okay. Let me just give another minute, see if we can get Leslie or Patty to share with us. And I'm going to exploring subscriptions. We were there, Patty. We understand that. Um, all right. So I'll give you a little bit of background. Apple Yarns is 15 years old. And just like for everyone else, COVID was tough on us and we had to recreate some revenue. We didn't have an option. We had to recreate some revenue. So Apple Yarns is also, we have a dyeing facility, we have a dyeing studio, and so we bring in Apple Fiber Studio. So that's what we did. We created these subscriptions after taking many classes. I'm talking with my hands, guys. I'm not used to just staring at Darren and talking, so excuse me. So we created subscriptions and we rebuilt our revenue base that we had lost with COVID. And then about 6 months ago, because we do get to work with a lot of maker stores, we introduced going business to business subscription. And what that is basically is that we ship out yarns. In this case, it is yarns. We ship out yarns to a store. They leave our store in Bellingham, Washington. They leave our dye studio in Bellingham, Washington, and they ship directly to you. In our case, we ship in quantities of 10, 20, 30, whatever you need. What that does is it just makes it for the shop owner, it just makes it a lot easier for them. They automatically know they have that box opening, creating excitement for their consumer. You don't have to think. We are so fortunate in the yarn business to have so many colors to choose from. But I don't know about you guys, but that also can, what's that? Paralysis, that can stop me in my tracks. There's too much to do. But by going business to business subscription, you are automatically receiving, in this case, your yarns that you can train your customers in receiving. Train your customers that they know every month at the first, every month on the first, you will be receiving new product. You don't have to make, as a shop owner, you don't have to make that $1,000 order. You don't have to take the time to select from all the colors. Make the $1,000 orders. Wait for shipping. You know the product is going to be there, and your customers are going to come across your threshold because you have continually new product. That is basically it. The subscription industry has been around a really long time. This is a tried and true method, let's just say, of retail, although it is so much more. Now we live in a world where we think of subscriptions as Netflix, FabFitFun, dogs, guinea pigs. I'll tell you more about guinea pigs in a moment. But subscriptions, as I said, have been around for a really, really long time. Milk delivery, paper routes. There's just so many of them. I apologize, I don't have the numbers with me, so I'm going to kind of go off cuff here. Right now, the subscription business is a $250 billion business. It is expected in, I believe it was 2025, which is not very far away, guys, to be a $1.3 trillion business. Your consumers are looking for ease, and you might as make your job a little easier too. So, Patty and Felicia, I am curious, is this subscriptions? Because I have a lot of, I have experience in selling subscriptions. We also have experience in making subscriptions. But since it's just the three of us, I'm curious, what are you interested in? And I'm happy with chat. I also love to see your beautiful faces. Let me see if I can change a gallery view. Nope. All right. So I would love to have some direction on where you would like me to go.
I'm interested in
There you are. Hi, Felicia.
hi. I have been contemplating I teach sewing lessons. So
Awesome.
I have been contemplating subscription boxes for almost 2 years because it just seems so overwhelming. But
Absolutely.
I've even subscribed to subscription boxes to kind of see
Me
the
too.
process, the experience,
Me
and
too.
on the receiving end is wonderful. But when I think about, being the one packaging everything, marketing it, and, trying to keep the end user's experience in mind, it just gets overwhelming for
It
me.
is. I will tell you there's some great courses out there. I'm happy to answer anything from my experience. I have also taken some of these great courses. The one I recommend the most is Launch Your Box with Sarah Williams. I
Oh,
do know
okay.
it just closed the other day, but if you look on YouTube or sign up for her, you want to keep interested, her landing page. I mean, they talk all about that. She's got a lot of free videos, a
Okay.
lot of guidance. I strongly recommend her once a year. And as I said, it did just end. Once a year, she does a $10 course that is like 2 hours, 3 or 4 days a week. That's actually how I started my first subscription, is just attending her $10 course. And I got
Mm-hmm.
so excited that I'm kind of that, I just dug right in. Did we make mistakes?
Okay.
Yes. But this is one of those things where done beats perfect.
Okay.
You just got to get it done. Don't get caught up on fancy packaging. You see all of that, although it's important. Alla, I got your note. I'll go right there. You just got to do it at this point. You've been thinking about this for 2 years. You just got to do it. You know what? You can find targeted audiences on Facebook. Do you have a current email list?
I do, yeah.
Good. So
So
those,
I guess my overarching question is, does it matter the size of the project or the complexity versus number one? And number two, should you automatically add in, for extra value, some kind of direct tutorial or a YouTube tutorial or a Zoom tutorial, should it
you need to
include
do
that?
your box. You need to do your box because you're already there. So the thing to remember, yeah, you need to do your box. You've got the thinking there. The thing to remember, especially with sewing, we're also a maker store, is to make it consumable. So if your
Okay.
video backs up what you are sending, you're making it consumable. In my industry, and I would assume your garment sewing more than quilt sewing, or
Right, garment. Well,
okay,
no, actually, no garments. Not for
okay,
this, but in person, yes. But I
yeah,
was thinking for the project, it would just be more or less accessories or, quilt block, small quilt, things like that. But
so
like
as
you
you
say,
know,
something you
both of
could
our
maybe even use more than one of.
yeah, so as you know, both of our communities, they tend to be collectors.
Right.
So, so they're going to collect, but you want them to consume. So that's where the video that you're talking about is going to help them consume. And that way they look forward to the next month, and then the
Okay.
next month, and the next month. Because otherwise it will get to a point, and I know some of my customers, I can't believe they haven't reached it, that they have too much. So the idea is, to make it consumable. So let's go
Okay.
back. We'll come back, Felicia. I'm going to take care of a couple other things. And just,
Okay.
I tend to be uh, very casual about this stuff. So I can give you guys all kinds of stats and stuff like that, but I would much rather that we answer your questions right away. So Alla, I see that you said you're a small distributor and products have occasionally been put in subscription boxes. Awesome. So Alla, I'm not getting all of the words, but always it came as the request from the entity constructing the box. If I understand you correctly, that seems absolutely spot on. I don't know what the quantity is. For our boxes that we do for Apple Yarns, so we have several boxes, and we have four, okay, and they are about 120 people each. There's companies a lot bigger, but with that, I will add, in respects to Felicia, we operate on Keystone. We don't send out our boxes with like a 10% margin. We're a business, and so Alla, I'm kind of reading into your response a little bit. Are they asking for a discount because of quantities? And it's not a bad idea, because remember, you're sending these companies, hi Alla, you are sending these businesses who are building these subscription boxes reoccurring revenue. It is all about reoccurring revenue. At the same time, don't give the product away. That's just, they're the wrong. So, we've been asked, our dye house, Apple Fiber Studio, which is why I wanted to do business to business. I mean, we have definitely been asked numerous times, well, it's about the exposure. We're giving you exposure. Yeah, exposure doesn't pay my bills. So Alla, I am not sure I got everything in there for you. Please ask away. Do you bill shipping charges or charge separately? Patty, that's a great question. We happen to charge shipping separately, and that's because we do have some local people. Ideally, I would to have my shipping charges built in. And one thing, when we are putting together our boxes that we are sending out, the business to business boxes as well as the business to consumer boxes, before that box is even put on paper for people to purchase, let's say, before it's a product that we put on our website, we have already looked into shipping. As all of you guys know, shipping is outrageous. All of these beautiful boxes, and we use the word boxes quite a bit in this subscription industry, excuse me, but I have to admit, we don't put our stuff in a box. We use a poly mailer. It's just a lot less expensive, and we have a product that doesn't break. So yeah,
so I'm gonna so I just want to jump in. I'm sorry, I don't know why my video won't go on, so I'm not trying to be all secretive. I just can't get the darn thing turned on. This is Patty. And so what I wanted, so I also have joined subscriptions, and then we did, it wasn't a subscription program, but we worked with a pattern designer last year to celebrate her 10-year anniversary of design. And so we built kits to support that.
Sure.
And I guess my question to you is, now that we're thinking about both direct to knitters and to business, how much extra stuff do you put in besides your yarn, and how important is it to you that you're theming the boxes in some way? And my guess is the business to business perhaps less so or more so, or I don't know.
I think the simple answer is, and we'll definitely get more in depth, the simple answer is, think of it as this package arriving to you and being super excited, like a birthday present, like a holiday gift. You do want to create that excitement. So that's one answer. The second answer is, our first box was called a knitter's self-care box, and it had hand-dyed yarn in it. And I personally am not a Chotsky kind of gal. So it had quality hand lotion that was handmade from our area. We had handmade chocolates, all kinds of stuff like that. Our best boxes, though, and the ones that have the most profit, are the simplest boxes. So now that I know all of this, I personally like one skein of yarn and one little something. And by little, I mean stitch markers, handy tool, point protectors, all of that kind of stuff.
And you don't worry about a pattern? You're not trying to give them something to make with it too? Or
sorry. Yes, we do. We give pattern suggestions. There's two different ways to do it. Alla, I got your question. I'll go there, or comment. I'll kind of go there in a minute. There's two different ways to do it. We follow copyright rules, so we don't print free patterns for people. I do have a couple people on our team, and we can buy patterns from them, or we buy patterns and print them and put them in the box. But yes, we always try and make the box consumable. Sometimes that
Gotcha.
is only pattern recommendations, but your big thing is you want your box to be consumable so that they look forward to the next one, and then the next one, and the next one, and they're not, as you and I know, we both have customers. Same thing with Felicia. We all have customers that are collectors. We
Yes.
love our collectors, but we really want it to be consumable.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Alla, I'm just going to try and understand. Maybe I need to know more about what business to business box is. So, Alla, in our respects, I'll give you 3 examples of this actually. In our respects, Apple Fiber Studio is a dye house. We contacted different yarn shops and we asked that, and they get yarn in either quantities of 10, 20, 30 in increments of 10. It ships out of our Apple Fiber Studio collection and it ships to them, and it should arrive before the first of the month. They then take it from there. I should say, in that box is their skeins of yarn. We do happen to send a candy. One of our customers actually just lighthearted complained, "Where's the truffles, Andrew?" And he's like, "I can't ship truffles in the summer." So we switched to something else. And then we do, even with our wholesale customers, we do send pattern suggestions. All that is because we're trying to make it as easy as possible for the store receiving the box. They do not know the color ahead of time. We happen to coordinate 3 months worth of colors, but they receive the box. They do the box opening, and they share that with their customers. Sharing with their community is key to the success, obviously, of selling that yarn. On the retail store side of it, I would say that Apple Yarns has 3 subscriptions that we belong to business subscriptions. We have Apple Fiber Studio, we have Emma's Yarn. Emma's Yarn has a subscription, and we have Kim Dye's Yarn. And we love that because each one of those dyers really has their own mood. They have their own collection. It's also really nice to diversify our product line every month, that we know these yarns are coming in. One of the important things I would add about business to business subscription is billing. We Apple Fiber Studio, it's an automatic payment. It comes out of your account. If we ship on the 18th, it probably comes out of your account on the 10th. You know the number. It's not a secret or anything. It automatically, at this point, we do call and let you know as a reminder because we want to keep it as friendly as possible, but it happens automatically. There's no invoice sent to you. There's a reminder, hey, we're going to make that deduction. For our program, you can cancel anytime. For both Emma's and for Kim Dye's Yarn, theirs is they send out a note saying, hey, we've got yarn this month. And then we say we're interested and pay the bill, and they ship it to us. Emma's Yarn does it a little differently in that they send an invoice, we pay that invoice, and then they ship the yarn. Both of those projects, we only get 10 skeins a month. We don't need a whole lot in the store that's brand new, but we want our customers knowing that we have new things coming in every month without us taking the time to research the colors, to select the fibers, to make the order, to make sure the shipping goes. It just makes things really easy for the business owner. And it doesn't need to be a huge expense either.
So can I ask a clarifying question?
Sure.
Rather than chat? So when you said you were including other things, as a model, and then you switched back to more simplified boxes, you were then having to source those other things, right? That's part of what made it hard on you.
It just makes it harder, and with production the way it is, products, right now, it makes it harder. In our self-care box, those are big items. Those are not small samples. Literally those are like the nicest lotions, the nicest hand poured soy candles. And all of that takes time. You got to package it so nothing breaks. You got the shipping is, can be outrageous. To ship a candle is not any fun. That's why we've learned our simpler boxes are just, they have a little something in them, something that, we keep hundreds. In our case, we keep hundreds of stitch markers just because we know, every 4 months we're going to send a stitch marker. It's not very expensive. It's just kind of like the little bonus. So I think honestly, simpler is better. But when you start studying these subscription boxes, that they can get pretty complex. One thing I wanted to add is that the reason I like business to business subscription, or I like subscription boxes, we have a little different crowd. I like subscription boxes for, I'll assume we're all small business owners here, is it kind of puts you on a even leveling, an even field with other businesses. At Sub Summit earlier this month, I went to in Florida. You've all heard of Bark Box. They were up for best box, and they lost to a guinea pig box. She happens to be in the same business group I am in. She created a subscription box just for guinea pig owners. You've got to check it out. It's called the G Pig box. So in your box, or in our case, we use, as I said, poly mailers. No, you want to niche down. So that's where our self-care box is. We wanted something to take care of the knitter. You want to niche down. She niched all the way down to guinea pigs, and her box in a national competition won over Bark Box. It was a really fun night to celebrate a fellow small business owner, and she absolutely deserved that reward. So just get your stuff. Okay, Brenda, I gotcha. Do the most you can for the littlest amount of effort. We're all busy, and it all adds up. Do have a profit margin. Someone told me that actually it was at H&H. They were listening to a fellow subscription box owner, and they had a 10% margin. Honestly, I wouldn't do it for 10%. There's no way I would do it for 10%. She might be using her box more to collect emails, things like that. But we use our box to sell product. Brenda just said, what are the prices of our boxes? As I said, we have several. Our self-care subscription box is $49.99. Our sock, we're just changing the name on this. Our sensational sock box is $29.99. Our wonderful worsted is $39.99. And we even have a t-shirt club now. And the t-shirt is $26.99. Now, all of those started out with a foundation, be a foundation member, a charter member. So they start out a little bit lower, but yeah, they're all doing well. They're actually all closed right now. That's another important part of your boxes. You can close them. And that makes, boy, does that make your life easier because you know your exact counts. Let me see what Patty has to say. And as when you have add-ons for custom boxes, do you add the value of the other items to the price? And as follow, when you have add-ons for customer boxes, do you
Yeah, so here's what I mean by that.
Patty, I recognize your voice. I recognize your voice, Patty. I know we have chatted before. So yeah, tell me please, Patty.
So what I'm really asking is, when someone is looking, let's say you send a skein of yarn in your kit, and this is to knitters, right? Not to retailers. So not business to business,
would be business to consumer.
So I'm going to sell a $10 skein of yarn is going to be in the box. And I'm going to add and pay for, $1.50 tape measure that's valued at $3. So that would be a perceived value by the customer of $13 in my example. Would you price that at $13, or would you price that at $11.50, or would you price it at just the price of the $10 skein of yarn?
I would go for the 13. but that is something I look at in a much bigger picture. You know, I've got my calendar all blocked out for 6 months. And so sometimes there is going to be a lesser price item, and sometimes there's going to be a little higher price item. Um, yeah, I'm a big believer that uh, you need to make money on these boxes. Um, and by saying that is, I mean, I can't imagine getting yarn for $10 for one. Um,
I'm just making
our,
that up as an
yeah,
example because all of
yeah.
us have so many different prices. So just as an example.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I usually it's half and half, in all honesty. That's the best way to say it. It is half and half. There are some boxes that we don't get a full keystone on, but mostly we get 50%.
So you're
And we
doing
just
you're just averaging your margin over the whole program. You're not looking at an individual box per se. You're looking at your whole
well,
box program.
absolutely. For example, one of the things we implemented with our box is we do know people like the surprises. And knitters, as you and I both know, knitters, crocheters, what do they love most of all? They love yarn. So April. Yeah, March, April, we had our boxes open and we put in a mini skein of yarn. That's a lot for us. So then we did not print a pattern. You know, that
Mhm,
month we suggested a free pattern.
mhm.
And so, yes, there is definitely some averaging done. Um, but I honestly, I would say almost more than averaging, it's kind of more like playing with numbers. Okay, if I'm going to be
Yeah.
more generous on this box, then this next box, I'm going to suggest a free pattern, which in our store, we do not print.
Okay. And then, sorry, just one more follow-on question, and this would be for both business to business
Uh-huh.
subscriptions and business to consumer subscriptions.
Mhm.
Do you dye your own yarn? So do you do custom colors for the subscriptions? And what is your opinion around including product that you carry regularly, but sending that, or colors, for example, that you carry regularly, but having the surprise, I don't know what the surprise, it wouldn't be a surprise. You would just be getting this. And then
Yeah,
finally, do you give your customers choices, right?
we don't give choices. Our
Okay.
boxes are surprise boxes for the most part, and I'll explain the difference for us. Yeah, they are surprise for the most boxes. We don't give choices, except for our T-shirt club.
Custom?
Obviously, that's a size. You've chosen a size beforehand. Do we carry other products that are in the store? Absolutely. One of our favorite products is the square needles by Skacel, and we had a sock yarn go out, and the subscription probably had, I think at the time only had about 60 members, so not big, but you know what, it's really nice to receive that reliable, renewable, reliable income. And we bought 60, and this was definitely a big plus, we bought 60 needles. We wanted to introduce them to 9-inch, the 12-inch needle, I believe. So
Yeah.
again, part of the success of subscription boxes, in all honesty, is the planning. And I say that I need to do more of it. But if you were to see my calendar, it takes a full wall. And there's lots of sticky notes like, okay, well, this month is going to be the stitch markers. This month, we're going to spend extra. We know October is a key month. We're going into the holidays. We really, really want people to think about us. So we're going to do our better gift in the month of October. And for us, March is when we try and hit our high points.
Okay. Thank you.
Did that answer everything for you, Patty?
Think so. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay. And I know we had Felicia talking about sewing boxes. One of the things the maker boxes all have in common is making your product consumable. You really, really want to, and this actually lesson, I would say, honestly, took us about a year to embrace. And when we go into our more popular seasons come fall, we are embracing the word consumable. We actually get on with them on Zooms now, and we teach or we show the project, depending on the particular box, we show the project through. We have private Facebook groups where, for example, I just checked in this morning, and a lot of people, they got their boxes last week. A couple of East Coast people just got their boxes this morning. And so they're like, well, we can't show you because you don't have yours yet. And Mary gets on and says, I got mine today. The one really, I would say the one really nice thing about setting up Facebook groups for your box, your subscriptions, is that a lot of times your community will answer the questions for you. In our wonderful worsted that shipped out this month, instead of one skein of yarn, they got 4 small skeins of yarn, and that's because we're doing Fair Isle this month. Well, honestly, one person went in the Facebook group and Darren, sure I can, went in the Facebook group and said she doesn't like 4 minis. And before I could even go on, another person is there saying, well, I love 4 minis and it's the same yardage. And now we've got all of this color, all of these different yarns. So don't be afraid to change things up for your customer. And again, that Facebook group helps you with communication because it is all about communication. Darren asked what software we use. I'm going to start a little bit further back than that and just say the education course. I really like Sarah Williams. Anything that you can, she's got lots of free content out there. It answers a lot of questions. As for software, we happen to be a Shopify store and there's lots of apps available. Recharge, Bold, Paywhirl, none of them are perfect. Absolutely none of them are perfect. We use Bold. I say we use Bold, go with the one that has the best customer service. That's the first thing. Absolutely go with the one that has the best customer service. You do want to use additional software. As I was explaining in the business to business model, for example, we use software at Apple Fiber Studio. That's why it's automatic. I love Kim Does Yarn and I love Emma's, but they're not using software. So it takes a separate email, a separate phone call. Really, subscription is about getting it done, getting it done quicker, making it easier for you and making it easy for your customer to see those brand new colors, brand new items in your store. As for shipping, you really do want to make sure that I don't use shipping. I don't do the shipping for us, but there's a pirate one, there's Shipping Easy. You'll get discounted rates. And Patty, did that answer your questions about software? I know if you use WordPress, there's going to be different apps. That's basically what you're looking for. Again, my recommendation would be, well, this is something you get in Sarah's course. I mean, people are always talking about this kind of stuff. We use Bold. I would go with best customer service though.
So I guess, well, what is it? What exactly is the software doing for you? Because I already use a shipping program. So what's different about
It's
a
about
subscription
automatic
program?
payments. It's about automatic payments. The more you get going, you're creating separate reports. It's automatically doing the payment depending on how you set up. Let's say a charge doesn't go through. Hey,
Gotcha.
hey, Andrea, there's an oops going on. Can you do this within 24 hours? There is a whole flow of how that works, and how you retain those customers is keeping that flow in motion. And these apps, they just help with it. They help tremendously. Like, as I said, we have the experience of the 3 shops that we get business to business subscription ones. And by far the Apple Fiber Studio one, yes, it's ours, but it is also the easiest because it's all automatic. It automatically collects payment on the 10th. That's it. If for some reason payment couldn't be done that month or done that day, it does it again on the 24th. Those are all flows that are already set up to make it easier for you. It's a big difference. And the reason I wasn't specific about which, like Bold, Recharge, there was another one that was just suggested to us. They're complex. And go with best customer service. Go with whoever you can get through to the easiest. That's just something that's important to us because we're a small business. We don't have a tech person with us. We're figuring a lot of this stuff out ourselves.
Great, thank you.
I have good marketing tips, Brenda. Oh, marketing's probably my favorite. I love a closed box model. So I would launch, you said you launched in June. So you're probably, I would assume you're an open model then still right now. It's all about your lives. It's about unboxing. It's about collecting emails for all of us. We always need to be collecting emails. Your web page should include a landing page. A landing page is, is a page that is dedicated to your box. It is very clean, and so the consumer is focusing on that page. And let's say you have a closed box model, which I would highly recommend. I know it's really, oh boy, did my husband fight me on this one. He's like, I want every sale. I just want to gather it. Nope, close your box model. And if let's say you only have 10 in your subscription, embrace those 10 people for the next month or two. And in the meantime, you are collecting emails. And when your box opens again, you have now created FOMO, fear of missing out, and you're going to gather them at that time. I love marketing tips. Okay, do you have marketing tips? uh just show. I personally don't do TikTok. I know I should do more reels. Get My big thing right now is I'm collecting reviews. Another app I love is Judge Me. It's been a game changer for us. It's called Judge Me, JUD, judge, however you spell judge.me. It's an app through Shopify. I'm sure it's elsewhere. That app allows me to collect reviews. And when my box drops, when my box arrives to the house, Judge Me, well, when the purchase is made, Judge Me sends out, hey, would you like to review? I get lots of reviews on my box, and those come back, and I can automatically forward those to Facebook or Instagram, giving me social proof. I'll think of some more stuff, Brenda. I wasn't expecting a marketing thing, but I love marketing stuff. Oh, you could, let me see, back to school. So Brenda, I don't know what kind of business you're in, share, and we can share ideas, but creating specialty boxes. So we have our subscription boxes, but we also create specialty boxes around Christmas, boxes around back to school. And those are themed. And what you're doing basically, I don't think I would do a Prime box, but I love how Amazon has created Prime like it's a holiday for us. And so just by associating with holidays, you're going to get people in the mood for that. In our industry, Patty will probably, I would assume Patty's going to agree with me, people are selling their Advent boxes already. They are pre-selling them now for in November. I don't happen to do that. I don't like people taking people's money that far in advance, but being really aware of your holidays, your small holidays, your big holidays, Christmas in July, piggybacking on that. It's really about exposure, Brenda. So I don't know how many people are on your email list or your Facebook group, what kind of social media you're doing, but those are all critical points.
I want to kind of dive in on the timing of the Advent box, because I work with a hand dyer who she has already dropped her Advent boxes. And the advantage as a business person for her is it gives her the summer, which is typically, we're in our slower months. And
Right.
so she's able to use these slower months to dye up her boxes. And then it also is a chance for her to test out new colors. And if she finds colors that
Absolutely.
she's put together for her box that end up being colors she wants to earmark for the future, she's doing an Advent box color development, taking advantage of downtime so that when the fall comes, she's not buried in a box. She's already got that set and ready to roll.
Oh, Patty, I completely agree with you. It's just a
Yeah.
personal decision on our end that I don't
Yeah.
like taking money this early for it.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you. I mean, there are so many advantages. It's just something we personally don't want to do. We don't
Yeah,
sell
it
our
stresses her
Advent
out too. I mean, that part of it is stressful. You're like, okay, now I owe a couple
Yeah,
$100 to each of
exactly.
the people who signed up for this,
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And our Christmas box, Advent box, we called it Yule box last year. It sells for $175. So yeah, that's our personal decision. I agree with her being doing it all now. It's just that's just a personal decision for us. So Brenda just said she's home with COVID. Oh my gosh. Brenda,
Yeah.
you said tell us about your box, Brenda. I would, and anyone, we kind of got started on this But you really, guys, ask away. We're doing good here though. I love it. I would say just remember that stat I gave you. If you haven't, I think it was with Felicia. Felicia, she was mentioning these plans about her sewing box, and she had some good detail. You just need to do it. At some point in time, you just need to do it. Don't get caught up on the fancy box. Boy, are there lots of fancy boxes out there. We started with a cardboard box and we would put stickers on it. And now, as I said, we use poly mailers. It comes down to shipping. We only charge $6.99 for shipping. So our bigger boxes, so $175 box, that would be a specialty. We call those theme boxes. Trust me, that shipping is about $20. I have to build that into the box. One, it qualifies for our free shipping, and two, our shipping is $6.99. And we're all business owners. We all get how expensive shipping is. And honestly, when you're figuring out your packaging, what is the cost of your packaging? It adds up really quick. And as I said, I am really proud of my numbers. I do not do this to give it away at 10%. It was someone at H&H who said, "Oh, I heard XYZ person only makes a 10% margin on their box." That's a box that's being made to collect emails and sell other things. That's not who we are. We need we have a team here. We pay. Let's see. Oh, I love the seasons idea, Brenda. Okay, so Brenda's got 4 seasons or sign up for a whole year. That's great. I would just be, the first thing I would do, Brenda, and you're probably already doing this, I would be really, really visual. And I would think you're not waiting till the equinox. Is that the right word to bring your box in? For us, we're usually working 2 to 3 months ahead. Well, for the business to business box, our theme this summer, for example, is movie blockbusters, but otherwise we work in themes of spring, was all spring flowers and stuff. Let's see what Felicia has. Whether marketing to business or direct to consumer, do you both, Felicia, absolutely both. One of the things that we have gotten into is creating surprise boxes. It so happens our semi-annual clearance sale is going on right now, and I had a lot of one particular yarn. And side note, on average, Americans spend $273 a month in subscriptions. So the people who are already buying your boxes, guys, guess what? They're already subscription fans. So if you have sale yarn, fabric for Felicia, you bet, make a surprise box, make it big. Yeah, definitely a surprise. You can also, let's see if I can do this here. You can also just give, impromptu. You can also just give, just get it small, little tiny peeks. Let me see, like little tiny peeks of things. You can give hints. I'm big on surprise. One reason I like surprise though, is sometimes kind of like where you were, Felicia, you had all these grand ideas, but you're not just there. You need to set a goal. National Ice Cream Day, Felicia, is July 16th. If you have some ice cream fabric, set a goal. That's going to be your day. You're going to sell, you're going to associate it, you're going to hashtag it with National Ice Cream Day. And you now have made that statement to your customers. You don't know 100% of everything that's in your box, but you now have your goal and you have it documented. So Patty, that is a really great question. We only offer, and this is our experience, we only offer that buy a whole year and get a discount on Black Friday. It's the only day. Honestly, it's kind of a headache. We might not do it again. That is one reason you want an app. And we just found that the app we were using let us down a little bit in that. So then there's 2 different counts. And in these subscription boxes, it is all about counting. You do not want to order a lot of excess product until you put the excess product in your surprise boxes. That's another thing. But yeah, so we only offer that by a year in advance on Black Friday. Otherwise, it's month to month and you can cancel anytime. I would say another thing about your subscription boxes, there's decisions you need to be made when you own a store. Do you allow your customers to combine items for um, your free discount level? We do. We consider that part of our customer service, and that is just what we do. Many boxes do not. In our business to business model, we pack the yarn, we put the, let's see if I just by chance have one. We put a very simple sheet of paper. We actually print it here at the store. It gives, usually there's a picture. It tells you why we did something like that. And then we put the pattern suggestions. But we make it very easy. We do print it here in the store. Oh, okay. Sale ends July 30th, ships in September. So Brenda, that was your first box? Is that what you said, your first subscription box? You know, another question is, I like shipping monthly, but you don't have to. We kind of got on, you know, business to consumer a little bit more than business to business, but either one is fun for me. When you're planning your boxes and you're working with, again, the app, one of the fun things, my favorite thing, it's changed, it changed our world, I will say. I plan my money drop dates on really important business days, when my taxes are due and when my rent is due. So my money drops in a couple days just before those. And it's really nice to have that security, reliable revenue, subscription boxes, really nice to have that security. So yeah, ships in September. Brenda, that's great. You know, maybe you have a theme. It sounds like you're going to go to a closed model. I would definitely build that FOMO going on. Does anyone else have any other questions? Again, business to business, by doing the business to business, let's say you have a closed model. So you know that you have, let's just use the number 50 people in your subscription. You know that product's coming in automatically. That makes things so much easier for you. It's something you don't have to think about. You're working with a trusted company and that product is going to arrive. We do, I would say through our dye house, we do other people's subscription boxes. We are getting ready to do wool and honeys, and that's 450 skeins of yarn. So and like for our subscription boxes, we do reach out to other dyers. The whole thing is I think the whole thing is money. No, I didn't mean to say money. Actually, no, money is important, but it's all about numbers. Making it so something that works for you. It's just like hosting a sale in your store. It's got to work for you and it's got to work for the consumers. Drop-offs, canceling subscriptions, they just happen. Don't take it personally. They just happen. And then you build up from there. We've had our boxes closed for at least 2 months. And right now, just kind of like Patty said, her dyer friend is doing all of her work now for fall. We are doing all of our pre-work now to launch our subscriptions again. And so there is lots of that pre-work done. I really want to make sure I get your guys' questions answered. I'm just kind of scrolling through again. I love the 4 seasons of yarn, Brenda. That just sounds fabulous. What is going to be in your box, Brenda? Or what is in your box, since you're already deep in planning? Let's see what we've got here. Again, remember, this is a growing industry. The interesting thing about it is it's a growing industry. What did I say, 1.5 billion by the year 2025, but it's also an industry that's been around for a really long time. Literally, think of the milkman. Think of, I mean, Netflix is a subscription. Costco is a subscription. You know, BarkBox, FabFitFun. Now, a lot of those companies, we don't barter. I don't want to say that. Do we ask for a discount for like when we're doing large quantities? Yes. Do we ask someone for a discount for exposure? No, absolutely not. I mean, I can see why people do it. We don't happen to do it. Oh, I love it. Felicia just shared the 4 seasons of yarn, exclusive hand-dyed yarn, a pattern suggestion, and a surprise related to a small gift. Yeah, yarn's not available for sale in the shop. We do the same, Brenda. That's a great concept. Um, let's see. Oh, Josie's here. Yay. Josie is with Knit Chat, and it is a great community, and that is also a type of membership. If I were to offer a quarterly sub product box to my membership, would you consider drop shipping? Absolutely. Honestly, drop shipping is just easy. The other thing is when you're considering something like that and subscription boxes, think of the amount of time and money spent that it costs to accrue to gather that customer. So, for example, in Josie's respect, it's going to cost her more to do drop shipping, but she is not going to have the marketing, she's not going to have the time spent trying to find that product, get it in, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, Josie, I think it's great when you can do it successfully. We work with a couple companies that drop ship, and I absolutely love them for the convenience of it. I absolutely love them. You could almost say like we call it Pretty Yarn Club, our business to business subscription. It does, ships out obviously wholesale. We put a little something in for the customer, but it's kind of like drop shipping in that we're automatically shipping it to you. But yeah, definitely drop shipping. I love it when people make my job easier. And same with the apps, whether it be Bold for your accounting purposes, Judge Me. There is a brand new one, and I apologize, I don't know the name. I just learned about it yesterday. It is absolutely fabulous. It is going to, I want to get this right for you. I know what it is. So a brand new thing in subscriptions. Sorry, this is a little in addition. Brand new thing in subscriptions. Well, not brand new. You have your rewards customers. The hot thing right now is your VIP customers. People tend to spend more money when they have outlaid a little money to spend somewhere. Think Costco. And there is a brand new program. It is just being rolled out now. And what that app does on Shopify is that you can put your regular price and you can put your VIP price. So when you're on your Shopify, your WordPress, any of those, look for the apps that will help you. There's a lot of them. And I'm happy to share. I just wasn't thinking about that today, in all honesty, but those are some great ones. All right. Josie, you've had basically a subscription for a really long time because it is a member community. To me, that is part in like a subscription. If I totally understand what Josie does, it's another type of subscription and it's a great option. And that's where you're just doing downloadable items. You're not having to ship or anything like that. And we are actually in the process of building one of those for us also. Anytime I can do things easier. Anytime I can automate, that
We'll give her a moment to maybe reconnect here. She just all of a sudden disappeared there. For folks that are watching this at the moment, just so you know, everything up to this point, we will post this on the platform. Usually takes about 30 to 45 minutes to get the video encoded properly and then posted to the H&H Connect platform. So if there's something you want to go back and listen to again, or if you know a friend that wasn't here, you can also shoot them a note and say, hey, it was actually kind of useful. Go check it out because it'll be up there. We'll have it hosted there for the whole month. Well, it looks like she may be having technical difficulties here. If you have additional questions for her, please go ahead and you can use the H&H Connect platform to shoot her an email and get her contact information. Or if you'd like to get in touch with her directly, just send me a note. I will put my email address here in the chat and I'll make sure to connect the two of you. I guess if you can also use this chance since she's not here, if any of you wanted to ask each other questions, if you have another few moments. If not, I would say, why don't you go ahead and close on out for the session today and enjoy your afternoon. Have a good day, everybody.